Welcome along to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. If you love your in-depth rugby chat, definitely hit subscribe to Rugby Obsession.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into something really interesting that came up on the Box Office podcast, with Jean Villiers and Schalk.
Yeah, I caught that one. They were talking about the Springboks coaching future, weren't they?
Exactly. Post-RASSIE Erasmus. You flagged this chat for us, and it's got us thinking, who could be next in line? And, well, what does it say about coaching development in SA?
It's a key question. Rassie's obviously committed through 2027, the World Cup in Australia.
Which is huge. Gives stability.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, planning ahead is crucial. So looking beyond 27, who takes the reins? De Villiers and Berger had some thoughts.
They did. And one point that Hanyani Shmanj, the host on Box Office, really hammered home was just how good the current management team is.
Oh, absolutely. The standard they've set.
Yeah.
It's exceptional. Finding someone to, even maintain that, let alone improve it, that's a tall order.
Definitely. So who did Berger and de Villiers throw into the mix?
Well, Schalk specifically brought up Johann van Graan.
Ah, yeah. Over at Bath currently.
Exactly. Head coach there and doing pretty impressive things. Led them to the top of the English Premiership Challenge Cup final.
Right. That certainly boosts his stock, doesn't it? Performing in a tough league like the Premiership.
It definitely raises his profile as a potential Springboks coach. And de Villiers seemed to agree that, we need to look outside the immediate Book setup too. There are options.
Van Graan's style at Bath, strong forwards, good kicking game, seems like it could potentially align with traditional Book strengths, maybe.
You could see that argument for sure. But stepping up to the international game, it's a different beast altogether, isn't it? Managing the players, the scrutiny, the pressure cooker environment.
Totally different level. Club success doesn't always guarantee international success. It's a big jump.
It is. But Van Graan's definitely put his name firmly in the conversation.
And de Villiers, he broadened it out, didn't he? He talked about a growing number of SA coaches making waves.
Yeah, he did. He mentioned quite a few, actually. Like Johan Ackerman, who's back coaching in South Africa now.
Right, and Franco Smith. He's had success in various places, like with Lyon.
Spot on. Proven coach. Then there was Albert Vandenberg, formerly with Scarlets.
Okay.
Cornel van Zyl, who's with Cardiff.
Oh.
Even Frans Ludik got a mention.
So it's not just one or two names, then. There's maybe a deeper pool of talent than perhaps we often give credit for.
That seems to be de Villiers' point.
Yeah.
That there's this group gaining experience both locally and, importantly, internationally.
Which leads to another point de Villiers raised, kind of a concern, historically speaking.
About the pathways.
Yeah, exactly. The coaching pathways in South Africa. He felt that maybe historically we haven't been as strong at developing coaches as we have been at producing, world-class players.
Interesting point. Like, we churn out amazing talent on the pitch.
Consistently.
But maybe the system for nurturing the next generation of top-tier coaches hasn't always kept pace.
That seemed to be his suggestion, that there's room for improvement there.
So, the fact that we are now seeing guys like Van Graan, Smith, Ackerman, and others having success, maybe that's a sign things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Strengthening those pathways.
Could be. It certainly paints a more positive picture for the future, doesn't it? And if you're finding this deep dive useful, just a quick reminder to subscribe to Rugby Obsession for more analysis like this.
Definitely. And circling back to Shmanj's point about the current setup,
yeah,
it just underlines that whoever comes next needs more than just technical know-how. They need exceptional leadership skills, strategic thinking, the whole package to build on the current success.
Absolutely. It's a massive strategic role, not just coaching drills. So thinking about all this, it brings us to you listening in. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Who stands out for you? Is Johann van Graan, with his Bath success, the front runner in your eyes?
Or maybe someone else from that list de Villiers mentioned, Ackerman, Smith, someone completely different perhaps.
And what about that broader point on coaching pathways? How vital do you think that is for South Africa's long-term dominance in rugby? Is it just as important as the player pipeline?
We genuinely love to hear what you think. Who should be guiding the Boxes after 2027? Drop your opinions, let us know.
It's a fascinating debate. But, the main takeaway from that box office chat, I think, is quite positive.
How so?
Well, it highlights that there is a growing group of credible, experienced South African coaches out there proving themselves at high levels. Maybe those pathways de Villiers was concerned about are actually starting to bear fruit now.
A sense of optimism for the future leadership then, despite the huge boots to fill.
I think so. There are definitely strong candidates emerging.
Well, that was a really interesting deep dive exploring the future of Springboks coaching, all sparked by that chat between Schalk and Jean de Villiers. Hopefully it's given you some food for thought.
Lots to consider.
Don't forget to subscribe to Rugby Obsession to keep up with all our latest rugby analysis.
Please do.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. We look forward to listening to our next episode.